I will say the same thing. I will never be a hypocrite. Outfit, my brother. We have a movement of 5 million people.
But we have,
let me just say this. Let me say this.
No,
on matters of
just suckers.
No, on these committees, is this based on leadership and competence or political allegiance?
First, let me say, Ekuru, because I'm in parliament, let me pass the laws, you go to court, because you've told us.
Yes, I will.
The stronghold of Third Way Alliance is in the Court of Appeal. You go there and practice what you practice there. I will do my job as a legislator.
I will.
Trevor, back to your question. I heard the leader of majority, because these changes in the leadership of the committees have largely affected the membership of the majority. I saw him on TV yesterday, the Honorable Aaron Cheruiyot, saying that there are people who have fallen out of favor in their own political party. So that is a question that you can properly put to him, not to us, because in our arrangement, nobody is being punished for anything. We had 2 committees, and that is the County Public Accounts Committee. The chairperson in the last session was Honorable Moses Kajwang. He is still the chairperson of PAC. We had the chairperson of the Public Investments Committee, chaired by Senator Ososi. He's still the chairperson.
But your people are now being fronted
so
to other roles.
That's what I'm telling you. When it comes, let me explain. When it comes to elections in the committee, and I want to share my personal experience. In 2022, when we were elected, I was proposed to be the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee in the Senate on the day of the election, because I was a fresher. I didn't know what goes on in Parliament. The gentleman who is now the chair of PAC, Moses Kajwang, because he was a third-term member of parliament, he was able to convince other members from across the aisle. Actually, they cut a deal with Senator Gerard Gay. And that is how Senator Gerard Gay became a vice chairperson of PAC, yet he is not a member of Azimio. So in those committee elections, it is possible for you to persuade people from across the aisle, because there are various issues that are at play. Number 2, Trevor, it is very embarrassing for us sometimes to be in a committee and you're hosting serious people who have come before the committee, and the chairperson is inept, is unable to do the job of chairperson. I have been embarrassed personally, sitting in a committee there, and you can see the person who's the chairperson is struggling, yet there are still members of that committee who can run the show. And that is why sometimes you see some of us hijacking proceedings of those committees, because we know that the person who was there, he was put there because he's from the majority party, but he cannot do the job. At this particular tail end of the Senate, I think there is consensus amongst the senators that now it is time to get down to business and conclude the business that we started in the first half. And that therefore, we want serious leadership in our committees. I am not going to be in a committee where there is ineptitude. I joined the Security, Defense and Foreign Relations Committee this particular session because there's things we want to do in that Security Committee. We want to do an audit of all the abductions that have happened in this country. I want to understand Kenya's foreign policy. I want that Korir Singh to come before my committee with his big English and tell us how he could allow Kiza Besigye to be abducted from Kenya. That is why I am in that committee, and I want a serious chairperson, somebody who believes in the rule of law. You are not going to just front any person for committee chairmanship and tell us that this is the person who's going to lead us. We are going to vote in that committee. I want a serious chairperson in the committees that I belong to. Lastly, Ekuru mentioned something about Mbadi. Mbadi is my former chairperson, but he's a cabinet secretary in Kenya Kwanza government. There are things that Mbadi says, and I see that he remembers where he came from. For instance, when Mbadi said that he will be proposing a reduction in taxes, including pay as you earn, that is ODM. That is ODM. When Mbadi tells us that he will not be introducing any new finance bills, Trevor, that is ODM. We sat here and I remember you telling you that I will be speaking to the chairperson of the Azimio Economic Council. That was then Nderitu Mureithi. Nderitu Mureithi is appointed to government, and he's speaking the same language we spoke, that there is no need to have an annual finance bill because it makes life very unpredictable. Those are the people that when they speak those things, we see that they remember where they come from. But when he stands up and says something else, we have also a responsibility to say, no. John Mbadi, of us, he will call them old habits. I call them values. Because if you don't stick to your values, the values are supposed to be your guiding light. I will receive a lot of flack for some of the things that I've said here. But Trevor, you can count on me. You can call me any day. I will say the same thing. I will never be a hypocrite.
Okay.
I actually want to agree with Trevor. I mean, no, with the senator. But what he's also not saying to Kenyans, honestly, is, you see, luckily we are all lawyers here of many years of legal practice, including academia. there are two words that we use in legal, in legal jurisprudence: de jure, de facto. Now, de jure is, of course, basically within the law, but de facto is about facts. When Sifuna says that ODM is not supporting William Ruto, I mean, we know open statements out there where we are now talking about broad-based government. Although for me, it is actually bread-based government, because it's about people just wanting to be in government for their own selfish interest.
Yeah.
We had some of the closest allies of Sifuna's party leader, yeah, being promoted into positions of cabinet. Opiyo Wandayi is not just an ordinary. Hassan Joho, Mbadi, and Oparanya. We know those are very top leadership. They were top leadership in ODM. And therefore, let's not lie to Kenyans. Yes, you may not have signed any coalition agreement with Kenya Kwisha or Kenya Kwanza, as Kenyans prefer to call it, but truth for the matter is, the fact for the matter is that we have got members, senior members of ODM actually in government.
Okay.
And wait, Sifuna, you will have your right.
You have your own political party. You run a very small outfit, my brother. We have a movement of 5 million people.
But we
Let
have,
me just say this.
No,
on matters of ODM, I am the SG of ODM and I'm here. And how can you know more about it?
Therefore, you will respond.
I am very happy to run a small outfit.
Yeah, so I want to explain something.
Than for you to pretend you are the biggest political party, but you're just suckers.
No,
you just suck up to. Come on.
Let me explain something.
Can I?
The reason why
can I finish? Can I finish?
You'll respond. Just write it down.
The problem with ODM.
Finish.
I will. I will.
Yes.
The problem with all these ODM people. Look, if there is even a contradiction here. You have got Sifuna in ODM. You have got Ojenda in ODM. All pretending that actually they're not supposed. But let me tell you, ODM will always speak of principles so long as they're outside government. I use the example of Mbadi, Oparanya, Joho, and who's the other guy? Wandayi. Do you know how badly they spoke of William Ruto? And that's the pretense I don't really like in this country.
Okay.
I mean, this is the shenanigans Kenyans are being treated to politically. And for me, when it is convenient to Sifuna here, and I'm sure Sifuna has instructions to take a certain stand, which I think,
you will respond. You're here. You'll respond. Just right. You'll respond.
Sifuna, why don't you want me to?
He's not speaking.
Not yet.
Okay, continue.
He's not speaking.
We're waiting for you to finish.
Respond. Yes.
So let me tell you the mischief here.
Yes.
ODM is speaking from both sides of
the mouth. Okay.
Sifuna has instruction all these positions because he's an authority in ODM, because he's an SG. Yeah? But his party leader, on the other hand, anataka kukula upande nyingine kwa serikali.
Okay.
Unaona?